I'm going to start making some eyeballs because I'm visiting a friend tomorrow, and I want her to see how fun the little glass eyeballs are because you can put them in your plants and it's really silly. So I'm going to make some of those for her. So I'm organizing this first. Get my reds all organized, get all the glass all organized. Pull my stringers to the side, ones I want to use, like these rainbow ones. A little bit of latino that was left from yesterday. You can make a bead out of that, maybe. Only a little bit, but we'll see. Alright. Get it all organized and turn on the torch. Alright, here we go. Eyeballs. So I'm going to make them blue. This. Clean them first. Then I'm going to make this color especially can get a little weird. So. Okay, and then we're going to need some white. Here. Let's clean them too. If you get any schmutz on them, then they will inevitably make little weird black marks on stuff. You know what I want. Welcome to 2 o'clock torch time with J9. Here we are. I'm going to also clean up some of these clear rods before I get started. Okay. Let's do it. Okay, eyeballs. So, this is pretty. Steel, and I'm going to work the glass directly onto the steel. I'm going to be using white, dark aqua, and black. Now this is intense black, but I only use a tiny little bit of it, so let's do the thing. Wizard of Oz. Oh, went too much propane right there. Gotta wake up the torch a little. Good morning, torch. It's time. We're doing the thing. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna start out with white. Actually, I got some. Really thick whites, unfortunately. Okay, we'll just use these right for this. Okay, so I'm just going to get a gather of white on the end of this. How y'all doing on this fine Sunday? Wherever you are. It's a beautiful day here in Colorado. And I did go on a hike this morning, so that's good. If I don't get on a hike, then I'm on the dungeon all day, and I like being on the torch. It's my favorite thing, but I'll tell you, when it's nice out, it's a little harder. And to be honest with you, I'm a little bit too old to be staying up all night like I used to back in the day. A long time ago when I used to do this, I would stay up all night long on the torch and make things. What is happening? Sylvester Whiteick, 5594, what's happening? How you doing? What is shaking this fine day? Hello, hello. Welcome. So this technique is called lampworking. It means I use a stationary torch and I melt glass rods and tubes, depending on what I'm making. And today I'm working with Italian soft glass. This is opaque white, just regular white. Hello. Hello, Jessica. Jessica's good enough. Jessica's good enough. How you doing? Thank you. All right. So I am just balancing on the end here. I don't want it to be much bigger than that. Sorry, my music's a little loud even for me. Okay. So I'm going to put this blue, this transparent dark aqua on top of it. We're just going to make eyeballs. So what I do with these eyeballs is I have them on the steel, and they're really fun to put into house plants or to sneak them in onto the trail. Sometimes I put them in cactus because it's silly. And that's why I do these. And actually, I'm going to be teaching, like I do teach classes in bead making, but I think I'm also going to offer part of the class to make these because they're funny, they're silly, and they make me laugh. So hopefully they'll make you laugh too. So they're on steel. I make them different sizes. I make the little black dot in the middle different sizes. And sometimes I encase them. So there's a blue and white there, right? And I'm going to take my black, this is intense black, and I'm going to put a little dot in the middle of it to make the eye. And I'm going to try and make a bunch of these because this artist that I'm going to go visit makes incredible work, and I think that she'd be able to really use these and put them in her work maybe, or just have them around the house, and I think it'd make her laugh. So I'm going to make these for a friend of mine, but I also have to make these and beads in this 2-hour live. So seatbelt on, friends. Here we are. Let's do this. Here we go. Okay, this is an eye. So it's like the blue shows up a lot better once it's cooled, but that's an eye. Right, and it's on steel. Put in the kiln. One down, several to go. I also need to make beads, because after I ship out this order of beads that's going to Santa Fe, I will have no beads. None. So, guess what? We gotta make today. I have a week till an event. So, let's make some beads for sure. Always gotta check to make sure it's not purple, because although black is dark purple, there is a purple rod and there's a black rod, and if you pick up the wrong one, it's noticeable. And I don't like my beads to be purple and yellow, although it wouldn't be horrible. I mean, purple and yellow are pretty rad together, so whatever. With these, I like them to be consistent because they are available on my website, and I sell them at shows. They're very silly. For the holidays, I put Santa hats on them. I've experimented with other kinds of hats for the bees, but I have not nailed how to do that. I think a cowboy hat would be really funny, but that's kind of tricky. And right now I'm kind of just in production mode, so this is not experimentation time with hats. Top hats I could probably do. I could do a fancy bee with a top hat. That might be kind of cute. But I don't know, because the head of the bee is black, and so would the hat. The hat would also be black, so I don't know. For right now, we're just going to make good old-fashioned, cute little cartoon bees, and that's what it's going to be. There we go. That's a black gather right there. Now we're going to put one of the yellows. Okay. Get a good gather on there, and then you want to kind of heat up the joint where it is, you're feeding the heat into the glass to make a larger gather attached to that black gather. Did that make sense? I'm not sure it did. Kind of. Oh well. You know. Where y'all coming from? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Anybody? Well, if you are not aware, this technique is called lampworking. This is lampworked glass. Hi there, what's happening, Peter Barkov? How you doing? Let's see here. So, I'm going to melt those lines in. So I've got one yellow and one black side. This little disc. If you see me make bees, it's pretty much the same thing every time. So But if you have lots of them, it's super cute. I mean, when I have like a collection of these, and I put them out on my table for a show, they really look good. They're cute. So it's better to have lots of them. We shall see. Today is definitely a bee day. Bees and eyeballs. We might make a few beads. Feed that yellow in. And cut. So my studio is at the Manitou Art Center here in Manitou Springs, Colorado. I'm a lamp worker, and what that means is I use a stationary blowtorch to melt and manipulate glass rods or tubes, and that technique is called lamp working. And I am fairly certain that the reason why it's called lamp working is because initially, when they didn't have big fancy torches like this, you had to use an oil lamp and very thin strings of glass. So that's why it's called lamp working. Beads have been made this way for a very long time all over the world. I think that's pretty exciting. Also, once the humans are gone, the glass stays. Like once we are extinct, and someday it'll happen. Of course, unless the sun blows us all up, that's a whole other thing. But you know. Anyway, that's too morose thinking. Let's just make the bee. Okay, so now we got a little hamburger thing going on. A little hamburger, yellow on either side, black in the middle. I'm going to add a dot to either side of those yellows, and that's how I get the stripes on the bee. I find this to be the easiest way to make the bee. To each their own, but this is the way I like to do it. There we go. Okay, melt it all out. You have gravity, let it work for you. Get that line out. I'm trying to make these smaller. For years I've been making them humongous, and they've got to be smaller. When they're super big, they're too big. They don't look like even cartoon bees. They look like monstrous, huge things. Have you ever seen a tarantula eater or something bee? I saw one time at Trinidad State Park. They're like a big wasp looking like thing, but they hunt tarantulas. Like, I don't know how people can handle large insects like that. Needless to say, I jumped in the van. I was like, I'm not hanging out here with that thing. So we'll stick with the cute little cartoon bees. Little honeybees. Pay a little homage to them because they are one of our main hopes for humanity, which is another reason why I like the bees. That's their rubber gun. Alright. There you go. There's a nice black line on either side of that. That's a really thin line, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Just a little bit bigger. It's a nice line for that last line for the bee. The rat. Put a yellow line on top of that one. So we've got 3 black lines right now. And I usually do 5, including the head. So we're going to do this part, be the top of the head. And I'm going to melt it down. I lot for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. The encouragement is definitely welcomed. I am new to doing YouTube lives and posts and things, so I've decided to change to my primary platform being YouTube instead of some of the other ones that I was doing before. So I'm trying to figure out how to market my website, j9glass.art, so you can see what I make, and getting ready for the show season, and that starts on May 2nd, so it is coming. We are doing a first Friday on a Saturday this year because we are from May 2nd at the Manitou Art Center, because there's going to be there's going to be something going on the 2nd, so we want to be able to have it, so we're having it on Saturday. There's a general strike on the 2nd, which is not great for selling art. I'm going to make the tail and the head. Okay, now I'm going to make the head, this little bee thing. And again, you have arrived at 2 o'clock torch time with J9. That's me. My nickname is J9 because my name is Janine, and it's spelled Jannine, so it's Jan9. So my nickname is J9. So it's j9glass.art if you want to see my website. Gonna melt this bad boy down. We'll get there eventually. Let's give him a little help. There we go. Melt it out completely until that head is nice and smooth. On the bee, take the white and give him 2 little eyes. Like I always say, you want to make sure that they're very wide set, because when the white melts, it spreads out. If you put them too close together, they will melt into each other, and then you'll have a unibee. There's your 2 eyes and the bee body. Now put little bits in his eyes. This is as big as I should make them. They should actually be even smaller than this. The smaller the better. Okay, glass is expensive right now. Like everything else in this country. My gosh. It's insane. I hope everyone is staying safe and finding activities and people that they love to spend time with. Right, I want to put the black bits in their eyes. Okay. Careful it doesn't get too hot. Like I said, that white can kind of just drip on wherever it wants to, so I can kind of widen the eyes a little bit. Try and make this one super tiny so it looks a little cray-cray. Let's see if it works. That's pretty normal. That's what he looks like. Little eyes and his body. And now I'm going to put wings on him. Fly away, just a butterfly. Squish. Clear the wing. And do it again. Go. All right. There's a bee. He's cute, isn't he? That's what the bees look like. I'm putting them in the kiln and make another one. Hope everybody is enjoying their day. I'm in the studio on this beautiful day because I'm obsessed with glass, and that's what it is. Anybody that does the glass knows what I'm talking about. I need more black. Pardon me while I grab some more black. Black. Okay. I have enough yellow up there. All right. Can I make a monkey? You know, I probably could make a monkey. I probably could. I am not in the headspace to make one right now. The way it works for me when I do design work is I have to draw it first, and then I have to get a feel for it, and I have to make it a few times until I get it right. So I'm not really available for animals right now. That's really not my specialty. But I do bees. And I do beaDs. So if you check out my website at j9glass.art, you'll see an idea of what I make. And bees are one of them. Here we go. Hello, Olivier. Hello, Olivier. Oh, another Wizard of Oz flame. Kind of wizardy in here. Don't want too hot. Medium hot. Well, I mean it's hot, but I mean not too hot for the glass. Alright, I'm gonna make another bee, y'all. It's important that I have these this week, so before I make any of the beads, I have to make this first. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, black glass. This is Italian soft glass. It's Effitre glass. Moretti, also called Moretti or Effitre, at the Murano glass in Italy. That's where the rods come from. The COE, it's called the coefficient of expansion, is the rate at which it melts and cools. This COE for the soft glass I'm using right now is 102. So it's a COE of the Italian glass. So that is what we are working with today. Hi from the Netherlands. Hello. Nice to meet you, Marjan. Hopma. Hello. Nice to meet you. From the Netherlands, wow. YouTube's amazing. I love doing lives. I really think people are amazing and can do wonderful things, so it's neat to meet new people. I'm into it. I think for a few years now I've been worried that everybody in the world is terrible, and I don't believe that anymore, and I didn't believe that before, and for the past few years I've been wondering about that, and I'll tell you, that is absolutely not true. There's a lot more people that are reasonable and awesome and want to help each other. I will never not believe that at this point. So, hooray for being able to connect with people all over the world. It's amazing. It really, truly is. It tickles me every time I get on a live and I'm meeting people from all over the place. It's just the coolest. It's the coolest. What amazing times we live in. There's a woman from the Netherlands that I had met at a gathering, a bead thing in Vegas last year, and her name was Floors Caspers. I don't know if you know who Floors is, if you follow bead people. She's amazing. She does incredible glass work. She sure does. So, I mean, not that everybody from the Netherlands knows each other, because that's ridiculous, but, you know, just gotta throw it out there every once in a while. It's a smaller world than we ever think. Alright, I'm going to put yellow on either side of this. So I've got black in the middle and yellow on one side. I'm going to put yellow on the other side. And this technique is called lampworking. You need lampworked glass. This is soft glass. And I am a bead maker, but I also do wall sculptures, and I also paint. And I recently tried dabbling in cartooning, which is a lot of fun. So now a lot of this is waiting too. You gotta make sure you don't want to try and super cook it. Like, it's not like if you get it closer, it'll heat it faster. It only goes at the right temperature that it can to melt. If you overtax the glass, it'll boil. So I'm using an oxygen and propane fueled torch. Oxygen and propane, and I'm making a glass bead. Melt it up a little bit more. I'm trying to get it to where there aren't any lines on it. I want you to be able to see any of the layers of the black and yellow lines. Alright, so now once again we have the cheeseburger. It's the first line in the B. Alright, that's how big it is. It's super tiny. Little guy. Just a little guy. Just a little guy. Now we're going to put black on either side of those yellows. Sort of push on it while you're superheating the end of it. So you're feeding the heat into the glass and feeding the whole thing into the last layer. Get a little hotter with that. When I make the beads, I definitely, not the bead, with a D. When I'm making the beads, I definitely have to get my heat down a little bit, but when I make the beads, these guys, it's better to have the heat a little bit up because you have to melt all those edges out. That is what we are doing. Then use gravity to push on it to make your next line on the B. I'm going to do black again on the other side. these are plant stakes. They go in the garden if you don't get hail. Like in Colorado, we get hail. So if people buy these at shows or live in a place with hail, I usually tell them to put them inside house plants for your indoor plants. But I have little hearts that I make too with little smiley faces. Maybe I'll make one of those too that you can put outside that you don't have to worry about. But the wings will definitely bust out if it hails. If it hails, the glass doesn't like that. So, but that's what the bees are about. They're just little planter friends. Yeah, I'm more of a bead maker than I am an animal maker. There's a lot of glass artists that specialize in glass animals, which I think is rad. I am just not one of them. Here we go. Yellow on either side of those blacks again. A little bit smaller on one side and a little bit larger on the other. So those sides are going to be a little bit smaller. That's going to be the tail. The little stinger butt part. Yeah, I usually have to make quite a lot of these, but they are less stressful to make when they're smaller. When they're really big, they're kind of silly. I was making them like 2 inches long. I don't know what that was about. Hi Jamie, how you doing? Oh, am I making a little bee? Yes. Yes, Bob Kool-Aid. Yes, I'm making a little bee. This is his little body. I'm going to make the little back end stinger bit right now. Little guy. It's a plant poker. So it's a little bee plant poker. Yes, and hello, Jamie. Alright. Add that black. Melt it out. Get a little coffee. Hello, Mean Calendar. How you doing? What's up? Welcome. Also, I should tell y'all that if I am working on something and I don't see a comment or a question, I will absolutely answer it after I'm done. Because sometimes I'm looking at this and I get like a ton of questions at once, and then I can't see it. So, what animals have you made, or do you usually do insects? I don't usually do insects really. I'm really a bead maker. So I do bees, and I also make bats. I do bats. Do I have any bats? I'll show you I don't know where my bats are. The bats are on my website. It's at j9glass.art. So I make bats, bees, hearts. And those are the only real animals I make. Because I'm a bead maker, so I make jewelry too. So, do you have an Etsy shop? No, I actually have a website. So go to j9glass.art. So that's my website. I don't do an Etsy because I feel like I get like vintage stuff off there and all kinds of other things, and I think that's neat. But I decided that I wanted to have my own site. So the jewelry will be available soon, but the bees and the hearts are available now. So all the new jewelry that I've been making, that's all over the place, will be on the website, hopefully within the next month or so. Yeah, thank you. More coffee, more coffee, more coffee. I can drink it all day, yes. Christopher Robin 462, I feel you. I am a coffee person too. I used to be able to drink it all day. Unfortunately, the older I get, I can't do that as much, but that's okay. Today it's iced, so at least has ice cubes and a little bit more water in it, so that's what I'm going to try and convince my stomach of. Sometimes my tummy doesn't like it, but that's okay. Hi, Luki Straka. How are you doing today? Thank you so much. Welcome to the Pains. Hello. All right. Yeah, I'm not much of an animal maker. It's just I'm making bees today. Yeah, some people. I mean, I've seen people who make amazing like whales and dolphins and fish. I like the fish the best. And I have made fish, but I do those for sculptures, and they're kind of intensive. Actually, on my website there is a piece that's for sale that is one of my wall pieces that has fish on it. Little glass fish that I made. Let me check that out. coffee, more coffee, more coffee. About it. I also make glass straws. Those are also on my website. I make drinking straws and jewelry and hair accessories and plant stakes and chain. What else do I make? Earrings, little bracelets. I mean, y'all, I make a lot of stuff. So glass animals are not the specialty though. They just want to make it a day. Yeah. I think it's important to have boundaries because some of those things with glass, I don't know if you knew this, but with glass, at least for me, I'm not as good at the last minute requests for shapes. Glass is very particular. It's strange stuff and it's a little tricky to work with. So I know what I know. I practice what I practice, but animals are not one of them. Okay, I'm melting out the eyes. These actually might be a little bit too far away, but that's okay. We'll melt it all out. Be sure and subscribe to my channel. I've just started making videos. I've changed platforms. I was on a different platform before doing most of my videos, and I have decided to redirect to YouTube. So if you subscribe to J9 Glass, handmade art by Janine Scott, then I will be posting more regular videos. And I had my photographer took a lot of pictures of the new jewelry, and I have a model coming in to model the jewelry soon. I'm really excited about it. So it's all coming, y'all, one step at a time. But today we make the beads, y'all. Today we make the beads. Beads and beads. Hello. Alright, so I'm melting it all out. I gotta melt down those 2 blue dots. What are you doing? Well, I am making little glass beads today. That's what I'm doing. I'm at the eyes. Here we go. So I'm gonna put the little black parts in. Into the eyes. There we go. One. Little tiny one. Alright, melting those guys in, and then we are gonna put wings on. Little B for plant poker. Okay, here we go. So his whole face has to cool a little bit for you to see it. There's his eyes. I gave him one big eye and one little eye. He's pretty silly. So I'm gonna go make the wings. Here's a good one. That's a cute one. Wings on there. And if you have just arrived on my channel, this is 2 o'clock torch time with J9. Anytime they're going to be in the studio, which is often, I will make a 2 o'clock live video. And that's what I'm planning. So that's what we're doing. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock torch time with J9. Lollies, Tic Tac. Huh. Not sure what that means, frictions. Yeah, I decided to get off the other platforms. Thank you. No glassy. Make a little heart next, I think. Let's see here. How do we do that? We really thin. Okay. So I'm gonna make a really thin, tiny. Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. It's glass lamp working. So I'm using Italian soft glass, and I'm melting it in a blowtorch at about 1800 degrees. And then everything goes into a kiln, and then it is annealed, and then it is slow cooled, so it gets all of the thermal shock out of the glass, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah. I teach classes here in Manitou Springs, Colorado, and eventually I will probably be doing a Patreon page for classes. But right now I'm just working, making things that I need for shows. So I'm making a super duper skinny black stringer because I want to make a smiley face on a heart, right? And so I'm going to make that, and it's going to be tricky, and I'll have to bring my heat way down, but let's try it. Alright, so we need the red. There we go. For how long have you been doing this? I've been doing this for 25 years. I am 51 years old, and I've been doing it since 1999, so actually 26 years. Yeah, for a long time. It kind of shocks me every time I say that out loud, actually. I have taken a little bit of time to not do shows, and I have taken, a bunch of time to paint for a while as well. So I do those things too. But yeah, I've been doing the glass for about 25 years. 26. Alright, so I'm going to get all of this glass gathered onto the end of this steel rod. And then we are going to drip it to the side. So I'm going to use gravity to kind of get it all on there. And then I'm going to use it out of the flame and kind of manipulate it out. So it's red hot. If it's red hot, it's on the move. So I'm going to hold it so it'll kind of drip off to the side. So I'm making one of the side humps of the heart. Okay, so look at that. Now I'm going to put the other side on, other little hump, if you will. This one's going to be really small. I don't know, man. I think I can make this one bigger. We're going to make the humps a little bit bigger. If I try and put a mouth on this thing, you're not going to see it. Too small. So I'm going to use my paddle here. This is it's a flat pick. This to kind of make sure that I don't lose the heart shape. But I still want to make it bigger. It's nonsense how tiny this thing is. No, it's too small. We're going to make it a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger, and then we're going to put eyes on it and a mouth. Big bulbous side there, that's what we want. I'm going to do another one on the other side. Okay, hello Shuko's World, how you doing? And hi Raza Marie Reclette. How you doing today? Or tonight, depending on where you are. Hello. Hello. Alright. So now I have a heart, and it's really hot. Hi, Dream New Earth, what's happening? You have returned. Hello. All right, there's the heart. I'm gonna put little eyes on it. All right. Oh, I got one eye. Really tiny. Like I said with the bee, they have to be far enough away so they don't meld into one big eye. This one might not get a mouth, but we'll have to see. So here we are. And these are the two eyes on the heart. And then we're going to put little black dots in there, and then we're going to try and put a mouth on there. I don't know, man. This is going to be a little... Let's put blue in there, too, just for kicks. Put a little bit of blue in the middle of those white eyes. Give them a little bit more character. Okay. Making the eyes even bigger. Alright, then I'm going to put a little black dot in between each of those little eyes right there, right? And next, I'm going to turn my torch way down just to do the smile. That's what the eyes look like. So he's actually red. I know he looks black, but when he cools, he'll be red. Now we're going to turn this torch way the hell down. Way down. Okay. And then we're going to put the smile on. I'm going to use a pick to kind of manipulate that a little bit. Maybe. I'm going to use my pick because you can't see this, but it's a little tiny itty bitty black line for the mouth. I'll show you once I've given his mouth a little bit more shape. Okay, so because the mouth is black and the glass is red but turns black, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the camera and you're going to be able to see a different color where the red is, where the mouth is. Do you see it? I guess you can't see it, but it is there. We're going to put it in the kiln. It's going to be cute. Alright. We get a carrot over here. Right. I'm going to do another bee. We need the bees. These are what we need right now. Go. Black. I'm going to turn the heat up again. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to heat the black up first. And add a little gap to the end of the steel. Alright. There's my little gather at the end of the steel. Alright, and then I'm going to take my stamp mashers, guys, squish. And we're going to do this yellow. This is a dark lemon yellow. Actually, no, it's gather of yellow. All right. These are mashies. Squish. one side, black on the other, right? I'm going to put yellow on the other side. Melt it all in. You know the drill, y'all. You heard it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Let's use the paddle. Squish it into the hamburger shape. Melt it all out so you can't see the layers. Your metal rod doesn't get hot after a while. So, Mimi, how you doing today? Mimi Tremblay. The heat does not transfer or move down the steel. It's only hot at the end where I have that direct heat on. It doesn't crawl down like, I don't know, other metals might do. So yeah, it's only hot right here and right at the end of the steel. So it doesn't transfer over. You can get pretty close to it. Yeah. It doesn't get hot. No, it stays cool. Crazy, I know. That's what it does. And the glass doesn't get hot either. Nothing gets hot over here. It doesn't start getting hot until you get closer to the flame. Hello, ASMandi. Oh, good, Mimi. I'm so glad. The technique is called lampworked glass. And where are you checking in from? Where you live? Or where are you coming in from? Because there are lampwork teachers all over the world that do this. This is a very old art technique. You're in Quebec? Oh, I know you have lampwork teachers there. I'm sure of it. Hello, Asmanti. I am making a little glass bee, and it's going to be for my website at j9glass.art. I sell these on my site, and they are little glass bees that go into houseplants. So that's what they are. Yeah. And I am doing it with a technique called lampwork, which means I use a blowtorch and glass rods, and I melt and manipulate the glass rods and blowtorch flame to the desired object, and then it is put in the kiln after it's in the flame, and then it is annealed, and then it is slow cooled, and then I take it out, and we have to do the cold working, whatever cleaning it might need, or any kind of stuff. The bees, fortunately, don't need any post-production, but you take it out of the kiln, they're done. So the beads aren't like that. The beads are different. Hi there, GTS 251. What's up? How you doing? Welcome. Hooray for Canada! I've got a lot of Canadian friends actually that come to visit us in Colorado. Right. I tried glass fusion with a microwavable kiln. Yeah, that didn't go so well. I believe you, Mimi. So I've heard of people doing that in the microwave with for fusing. I don't know, man. I've only recently gotten excited about fusing. Hello, Arnhem. I don't know how to. Hi there. How you doing? Barb, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, doing that in the microwave I think is weird. This is blowtorch work, so it's called lamp working. So if you look up somebody in Quebec or wherever you are, whoever's listening, for lamp-worked glass classes or glass bead making classes, then you start here. Create a... Well, I'm so sorry, Jameli. What do you create? I can't see that. You want me to make something? So I'm making bees today. Bees are what I'm making. I'm not really up for special requests on creatures. I'm afraid that I don't do that many different animals. It's just what I'm doing today is bees for the website. So I have had a lot of requests for cats. And someday I will do something cat related. I think that's a cat. All right, I'm going to put black next. There we go. And that's going to be another line, so I'm going to squish it down, heat it up. And when you're starting out, do you burn yourself a lot? Hello, Jerry Bear. How you doing? Yes, I have burned myself. Actually, you know, I've been doing this for 25 years, and I still burn myself sometimes. I mean, if you're going to play with fire, sometimes you burn yourself. I think that that's just the name of the game. So, yeah, I burn myself a little bit. It does suck. Usually, and this is what I tell my students, the most of the time, if you're going to burn yourself, it's because you have something hot that's sitting right here, and you react, and you bring your hand up into the flame. That's been when I got the worst burns. So I really warn students about that. Gotta know where your hot ends are. However, the thing that's nice about it is it's a stationary blowtorch. So it's not like it's moving around or anything. That's kind of cool, right? So you don't have to worry about it, you know, dropping it or anything like that. So. Melt out this yellow and give it a little bit of a gravity flow here. We're going to let it kind of drip on into itself here. And kind of get a little bit of shape. Kind of like let it drip down a little bit. And then I'm going to take my arbor, get a little tiny pinch at the bottom because I'm going to put the little bee bud on. Little bee bum. Here we go. Little stinger area, if you will. Yeah, so I've been trying to do more cartooning lately, and so I think that the more I learn to practice drawing, the more creatures I'll be able to make, if that is what I want to do. Because at this point, if I can draw it, I can make it out of glass, but if I can't draw it, it's really hard for me to do with glass. So. Alright. I got my stripes over here. I'm going to put the head on and build up this little black dot at the top. I'm going to put the eyes and the wings on. So here we go. That should be enough. Melt it all out. Melting out the head so it's round and it's flat. So it's flattened to the side so that you can't see the layers. Alright, I'm going to use the gravity to kind of make it a little wider. Once it's red hot, it's on the move. So I can do this and it's still moving. It is absolutely still on the move right now. Soft glass moves very quickly and it stays melted a long time. Borosilicate glass does not really do that. It hardens up right away. It's hard glass. It's totally different. Okay. Put the two little eyes on the guy. Melt it out carefully. The thing I also love about teaching is when I teach the glass bead making, people come in reasonably afraid of the torch. Like they're really nervous about it. But by the time they're done with the class, they're stoked and they're melting things and they're happy with it and they're enjoying themselves. So I like to empower people in that way. So the glass classes are a lot of fun. There. There's nothing quite like the glass. There's a lot of different mediums out there and different ways to express and create, but I feel like there's nothing quite like glass. It's definitely on its own planet as far as what it's like to work with. Some eyes here, and eye, 2 eyes. What time is it in the Netherlands if you are still here? What time is it where y'all are? It is 3 o'clock here in Colorado. And I usually start my lives at 2 o'clock. So, oh my gosh, this is really funny. Ready? Isn't he silly? So I'm gonna put wings on him. He's cute. I don't make them any bigger than this. Any bigger than this, and they're just monstrous. This one's actually a little bit too big. Alright. One wing. And there's the second wing. PM in Scotland. Cool, Michael. Neat. Right on. Well, it's 3 o'clock here in Manitou Springs, Colorado, where it is a beautiful day. And I am in here curled up with a blowtorch and y'all. Can't help it though. There's a bee. Thank you. Little guy. Okay, and the camera goes. I want to make some more eyeballs because I want to make them for my friend. So I got to make some more eyes. Let's do that. Can't forget about the eyes for my friend. So here we go. Again, this is steel, and I'm just going to be making plant pokers. I have a friend I'm visiting tomorrow at her studio, and it's my first time seeing her studio, and she does a lot of really amazing work. So I want to bring her a little bouquet of eyeballs because I think that she'd get a kick out of it. She will know exactly what to do with a handful of glass eyeballs. And then what I usually do with these is that, like, you have a plant, you have like any kind of plant really, like you just stick these in the plant and it kind of just gives them personality, and it's funny. I've also cut them really short and put the glass eyeballs and cactus on the trail, and I'm not sure if it's birds or creatures that dug them up or if it really freaked somebody else out that was on the trail. That might be shocking to somebody. I mean, it's really not my world, I guess, because, you know, weirdo, but I guess if you're on the trail and you see a plant looking back at you, maybe it's kind of glittering too, so I really don't want to do that either, but it is pretty. I've also been known to bring these into plant stores, like we have a garden center here near Colorado Springs, and I'll bring a bunch of them and we'll just hide them in all the plants and leave. It's really funny. So I've done that once. Gotta do that again. It's just the funniest thing ever. It's like a style of graffiti that doesn't hurt anybody. And removable. Let's make a few more of those eyes, actually. Go. Wait for it to come out. do a few more of those. And I've never been to Scotland. Scotland sounds cool. You know, as a glass person, you know, I mean, in Colorado, we have over 300 sunny days a year here, which is awesome. But, you know, I like a nice rainy day so I can be in the studio all curled up till it's dry and heat. And when it rains, it's like the best studio day ever. I bet you there's a lot of glass blowers in Scotland. That would be my guess. There's a lot of glass blowers like in Portland and Seattle. And I think part of that has to do also with the weather. There's a lot of glass people in Colorado too. But not as many like hot shop people as there are in the West Coast. Or the East Coast for that matter. Like if you go to Corning, New York, there's a Corning Museum of Glass, and they also have classes there as well. Very cool. I still haven't been there, but I'll get there eventually. There we go. Gotta love in person you can bring eyeballs to and have them be excited about it. That's gonna be fun. And I'm going to make this one green. I don't have a really good transparent brown for brown eyes. And that is just because we just don't have that color. I mean, I'm going to keep looking for a nice topaz so I can make different colored eyes. Melting until it's a little rounder. Alright, I'm going to take black, put a little dot in the middle. Boop. Yeah, who knows what she's going to do with these. I'm looking forward to her. Her name is Michelle, what's her last name? Bracewell. So she makes really neat sculptures that are in groups. What do they call it? Assemblage artist. Let's make a green one. One in green. So be sure and subscribe to my channel. I just started making videos here. I'm trying to switch platforms so that I'm not on one of the other platforms, and I am doing everything off of YouTube. I feel like YouTube is a good platform for what I am doing, and you know, I don't know. I like the way that this one is organized and how it feels to be on it. It doesn't have the same feel as some of the other platforms. That's what we're staying on this one for. So again, this is white, and we're going to make an eye. I'm going to do one more green eye and a blue eye. What happened to my music? Really need to address that as well. Now green. I've always liked putting eyeballs on everything anyways. It's kind of always been a thing with me. I always like kind of weird stuff like that, so not surprising that the glass eyeballs are a thing. They're pretty funny. Hi there, Jamar Bailey. How you doing today? Welcome. Alright, I'm making little glass eyes. I'm going to make sure I can put my music back on because I'm not a fan of just listening to the fan. Not my favorite. Okay, melt this all out until it's round, circle. Right. Eyeball. Eyeball. That's 4 eyeballs for her, and I gotta get the music going again. That. So, I'll work out my music. I don't know what happened to my music. Then I need to eat some goldfish. Alright. Okay, we'll see how this goes. Okay. Hello, Ursula. How are you doing today? Hello. I think this thing needs to get charged. Ooh. Little Wizard of Oz, just because this thing doesn't have a battery in it. Battery's dying. Damn it. Sometimes that happens. Hello, Argos. How are you doing today? Welcome. Thanks for coming and hanging out on my channel. Make another eyeball, y'all. Okay. Eyeball time. So my lives always start at 2 o'clock. So whatever it is, I've been here online on streaming for an hour and 13 minutes now. So whatever time it is where you are, I started about an hour and 15 minutes ago, and that's when I usually do this. If I'm going to be live, it's going to be at 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. I am trying to do it as often as I possibly can. In anticipation of my spring and summertime shows, where I sell everything. But what does that mean? Greetings from Germany. Hello, Ursula. I'm not sure what do you mean with that mean. I don't know what it means. I have no idea what that means. I don't know. I'm learning how to use the YouTube live and post right now, so I'm not going to be the one that knows what the heck I'm doing. Alright. So you want to keep that white ball of glass hot, and we'll move. I'll do another blue one. Hello, Manila Mercado. How are you doing today? Welcome. Welcome. I'm making a glass eyeball right now for plant pokers for a friend of mine. And then I'm going to make another bee. That's my plan. Okay. I'm going to use very thin black one. This is going to be intense black. A little dot in the middle of that. There we go. Alright. Voila! Eyeball. Goes. And do another one of those. I want to bring my friend at least a half a dozen of these things, so I'm going to do one more. Okay, getting a little gather of white on the end of that. You gotta introduce it to the heat very slowly. If you do it too fast, the end will pop. Yeah, fire art is fun. Hi Sonia, how you doing today? Yeah, I'm a glass artist. So I'm working with glass right now. The fire arts are amazing though, I must admit. Melting and manipulating something 1800 degrees with the heat is pretty cool, I think it is. We have another eyeball. Okay, I have a half a dozen eyes for my friend now, which is good. Make another bee. It'll be a very bee heavy day. Making another bee. Let me heat a little bit. Get a little gather of black on the end of the steel. going to squish it down with my stamp mashers. Okay. I'm going to do yellow on either side of that black. Going now. I've got one black line and one yellow line. Hello there, Saddam. Or Saddam. Yeah, Saddam. How you doing? How are you today? Hope you're doing well. Hi. Okay. So now we have a line of black and we have a line of yellow. I'm going to put yellow on the other side of the black. So we have a little hamburger of glass here. Hello, Harold. How are you doing today? And hello, Ricardo Castaneda. Oh, hello. Hello. Hello, Harold. Hey, guys. How you doing? Making some glass stuff today. Hey, you're coming in. How you doing? Hello. Welcome to my live. I do lives at 2 o'clock, so I have 2 o'clock torch time with J9. That's me. And feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing a lot more posts. I just started making posts, so kind of switching platforms right now, so here we are. And this is a bead plant poker, so it just sits there and stares at you from your plants, and it's cute. Cute things that stare at you from your plants. That's what we're doing. Okay. Black on either side. It up and then use this paddle to flatten it out, make another stripe. Black on the side. Black. I have no idea what this music is. It does not sound like my style at all. I didn't like that. Sounded too country style, not my favorite. Not my favorite. Alright. Alright. Now we're going to go yellow. Either side of these black lines. the little glass bees are born. In lieu of children, I've decided to give birth to glass bees. Less painful, minus the burns. Where are you from? Hello, Surya. How are you doing today? I am in Colorado, in the United States, and no, I'm not. I didn't help with the madness that's happening here. Yeah, I'm in Colorado in the United States. If you pray, please pray for us. I can tell you what. It's a little nuts here, right? What about you? Where are you from, Surya? My name is Janine. India? Neat. Very cool. Right on. My name is Janine. Nice to meet you, Surya. Okay, a little black part at the bottom here to make the bee bum. And then I'm going to make the head. Hi, Mohammed. How you doing? Hello. I am making a glass bee. That's the body of the bee. And that red part is because it's hot. So I'm making glass bees. I'm making glass bees, Mohammed. Yeah. They are on my website at j9glass.art if you want to see what they look like. So, yeah, j9glass.art is my website. And all the bees are there. I also make little glass bats and little glass hearts for plants. Everything else is either jewelry or hair accessory or whatever. Straw. I make drinking straws. I do lots of stuff. But right now I'm making the bees because I have shows coming up and I am selling a whole bunch of my bees to a gallery. They're going to buy out all of them, so I'm starting from scratch. Am I alone? Not usually. I'm actually in an art center. So I'm at the Manitou Springs Art Center here in Manitou Springs, Colorado. What about you? Are you alone? Yeah, there's other artists here in the building. How many can you make? Well, where are you living? I live in Colorado. And I can make, like, it depends. I make lots of different stuff, and if I make the same thing over and over again, sometimes I gotta make other stuff where I feel a little dizzy over it. So I'll make beads or jewelry or different kinds of things as well. So for the bees, like today I made 6 bees. Sometimes I make 10 of them, but I think that's my max for just bees for the day. You're in Dubai and you're 11 years old. Right on, Mohammed. Cool. Do I know Hindi? No, I'm afraid I don't. Sorry. I do not know Hindi. I know glass, though. This I know. Sorry, I don't know Hindi. I wish I did. Do you know Spanish? No, I speak a little bit of French. A very little bit of French. That's it. What about you? What languages do you speak, Mohammed? You know a little bit? Right on. Do you know Spanish? No, I wish I knew Spanish. I should know Spanish. I think every American should learn Spanish. That's awesome. Speaking English is also good. I also speak English. Can you believe that there's all these apps and things you can use now, though? Or like if you're traveling, that'll translate for you. It's amazing. I speak Malaysian, English, and Arabic. Jeez, Mohammed, that's cool. Neat. You're way ahead of me, buddy. When I say I can speak a little bit of French, I mean like, can ask basic questions. I'm afraid languages are not my expertise. Unfortunately, my mom speaks fluent French though. There he is. Okay, I'm gonna put that one in the kiln. Make another bee. Mainly because today has to be a bee day. I made a lot of beads and I have a lot of jewelry to make, but I am behind in my bee production. So, and actually, I have more hearts. Just need more bees. So I'll make another one. There we go. I got another half hour that'll be on here. I do 2-hour long lives. Whatever time it is wherever you are. I've been on here for an hour and a half, and so an hour and a half ago is when I start, and that's usually when I start my lives. How many minutes do you want to make this time of? Think. How many minutes do you want to make this time of? I am going to be on here another 28 minutes. And the bees take about 10 minutes to make. About 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm going to be on here for another half hour. I usually do 2-hour long lives. Every day if I can, but I can't always do them every day, but I try. What's the time where you live? It is right now 3:33 in the afternoon. Colorado right now. There's a question by Surya. Got some of that glass there. And I've got one line of black and one line of yellow, and I'm going to squish them with my paddle and with my stamp mashers. There we go. India, there is now is 2:59 p.m. I don't know, man. I bet you it's probably a.m. That's my guess. Because it's only 3:30 here in the afternoon. Alright, so there's 2 lines of the bee. I'm going to put another line of yellow on the other side of the black. Hi, Baraj. I'm making a glass bee. It's a bee for a plant poker. You can check them out on my website at j9glass.art. So that's where I sell them. If you want to see what they look like. It's 5:27 here in the U.S. It's, well, it depends on where you are in the U.S. I'm in the U.S. too. It's Colorado. It is 3:35, I think. No, it's that time there, just a day ahead of us. Oh, wow. Time travel is amazing. It's not wild. That's incredible. Thanks, Homemade 4320. Apparently I'm having trouble thinking when I'm doing the class. Sure, we'll check it out. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, just check it out. That's my website, and that's what I'm doing right now. Making the bees, and then all the jewelry that I've been making lately will be on here in Eastern time zone. Yeah, cool. Where are you at back east? Yeah, I'm in Colorado, so I'm Mountain Standard Time. So cool to be able to be in the same, room with people from all over the world at one time. That's just the coolest. I'm constantly amazed by technology. I don't believe that AI can make glass bees, so yeah, I used to live back east. I grew up outside of Philly. Philadelphia in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And so it's this little cute area about 2 hours outside of New York City. And I lived there for a lot of my youth. Hello there, Santo Silva. Oh, you're in Rhode Island. Cool. Frankie Santo Silva. Hello. What are you doing today? Yeah, Rhode Island. Cool. Right on. Man, Colorado's crazy. We didn't get any winter this year. It was really, I mean, I live at 7,000 feet above sea level, and we got almost no snow. It skipped winter this year. Wild, I'm telling you. I don't ski or snowboard, so I mean it's just too expensive and I just don't care. But people that are excited about that, definitely we're in for a bummer of a season this year. All right, another yellow, good to go. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I do lives as often as I can. And they're always going to be around this time. So I've been on for an hour and a half, so whatever the time is there. An hour and a half previous to is when I usually start. And I go for 2 hours, usually. It's getting really close. I'm not going to burn my fingers, I swear, so don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. Don't you worry. Here we go. Winter was brutal. It snowed a lot, and then we had a blizzard with over 3 feet of snow. Yeah, I saw that. You guys did get a nutty freaking season. Yeah. Sure looked like it, man. Gosh. We had that last year, but for Coloradans, we're ready for that stuff. I mean, we're used to having we had 3 or 4 feet last year, and it was awesome. But Coloradans are used to having some time off to, have a winter and snuggle in and read a little bit more and sleep a little later and, get inside house projects done because, we have more sunny days in Tampa, Florida. Colorado is the sunshiniest place ever. And so when you don't get to do that in the wintertime, it's a little aggravating. We're all a little weirded out about that, How'd you like it, though? Did you have fun with your 3 feet of snow? I think that's so fun. I love it when that happens. That makes my day. And everything just shuts down. Mama Nature don't care. She's gonna do what she wants. Okay, there we go. I mean, it was beautiful, but everything was shut down. Yeah, that quiet though. It's kind of chaotic. Yeah, everything shut down. Yeah, I bet. It's weird stuff. Yeah, I used to work in New York, and I can't imagine trying to navigate New York in that sloppy, wet snow. I must say, the Colorado snow is very fluffy. If you have 6 inches of snow on your rail outside, on your, your wooden rail of your porch or something, you can just go. The whole thing will just fly. It's incredible. So the snow is really pretty here, and I think that most of us, even if I don't like to drive then, I sure do look forward to being here. So next year maybe we'll get our butts handed to us and we'll get lots of snow. My flowers are coming up. It's crazy. Usually it's snowing right now. So whatever. Put your seatbelt on, friends. I think the next bit of time in all of our lives on this planet are going to get interesting. Climate change and all sorts of madness. So hang tight to the people you love. Hang tight to the people you love. There's my bee. The best thing is to try and not be a jerk. If everyone could just try and not be a jerk, this place so much better. Y'all are doing pretty good though. There aren't any jerks on my page. Everybody here seems really nice. I'm happy about that. Hi Lily. I am making a glass bead. So those are his little eyes. They're white. And I'm going to put blue in them and the little black dots. It's a little glass bead. Yeah. It's on my website if you go to j9glass.art. And that's where those are. Black, put the eyes in there. Little tiny eyes, little dots. And then I want to give him some wings so he can fly. Okay, this is little baby body. What is this? A meme? I don't know what that little sign. I don't know what that is either. Maybe it's a meme. I think that on my, you mean on my description, I think I made it as a smiley face. Maybe that's what you guys are wondering about. That must be what it is. I'll check it out when I close this live. I think it was supposed to be a smiley face, but it turned out the weirdness when it got uploaded. I don't know. Thanks for checking it out, Asaman. Jumurtov. So I'll be on here another 15 minutes. I'm going to make one more bee after this bee. Today was a bee day, and hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. If not, I'll definitely be back on Tuesday. I think it was an emoji. That's what that was. Right, and I'm going to make one more. We're going to make one more, and then we'll look over and see if I have any questions I didn't answer. And then that'll be it for 2 o'clock torch time with J9. One more bee. One more. Okay. Black. Gather on the end of there with the black. Yeah, it's important that I have lots of bees for the summertime and for my website. I kind of did like sort of a half day today. I'm not in here early today, so I came in a little later today. I'm going to do this color this time. Okay, so we got the first line of black, and I'm going to add a yellow on top of it. There we go. That's my next yellow stripe. Melt that all the way down, and I'm going to use my stamp mashers. Pushing your head. Okay. All right. the perception of the United States right now is a little, for good reason. But I'll tell you for a fact, I do not condone any of it that's going on right now. So, just so that is very clear. It's not for me. About equality, about people being seen and heard. That includes women, that includes trans people, that includes gay people, that includes people of all colors, of all nationalities, of all religions. That's what this planet's about. So anything else is crap. Alright, go. Melting it all in. Black on either side. So we got the little hamburger situation with the black, the yellow on either side of the black. Melting it all down. Squishing on the top. Putting more black on the other side. So we have 3 lines. And we're looking to get 5 black lines alternating with yellow, and that includes the head. Melting it all out. And I want to let y'all know that I really appreciate having y'all here, checking out my channel. I appreciate y'all being here and being on my channel and being with me as I do my work. Do check out my website at j9glass.art. I do sell these beads there. And we're going to do yellow on either side. Those black lines. Those stripes nice and flat. Now I'm going to put black on the other side of this yellow that I just put down. There we go. Melt that bad boy down. Give it that's little bead balm. Oh no, wait, that's black. I'm gonna put orange and put the yellow on this next one. And And we'll make its beak bump. Some days are bee days. Today is a bee day. Just gonna squish that just a little tiny bit, and then we're gonna put the black at the very end of it. So this will be the tail of the bee, or the stinger, or the bum. Little bee bum. We're gonna make a little bit on the end there. Boop. All right. There's that little end, and then we're gonna make the head. Go. All right. And that's the whole body and the head. Now we're going to put the eyes on, and then I'm going to put the wings on, and then we'll be done. And then I'm only going to be on for another 5 minutes. I just want to thank you all for being here, and thank you for coming to watch my channel and my lives. Again, I've been on for 2 hours, so whatever 2 hours is earlier than right now, then that's when I usually do my lives. I call them 2 o'clock torch time with J9, but that's 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time here in Colorado. Whatever time it is your place is where it is. So there you go. Put the eyes on here. Blue in the eyes. Oh, there's little eyes, see? See? Alright, blue in the eyeballs. Melt those out. Now I'm going to put little black dots and the blue dots. All right. Hi there, Erkan. How you doing today? Hi. You're just in time. I'm just stopping my live right now. I got 5 more minutes, but it's nice to meet you. And feel free to subscribe to my channel so y'all know when I'm live again. Look for the J9 glass emblem. And hopefully I'll be live tomorrow. I do have an appointment tomorrow, but if I can, I'm going to try and do live tomorrow. If not, then I'll definitely be doing one on Tuesday. So check out your lives. This little guy. One wing. And then we're going to put the other wing on. There we go. One wing. And the other one. That, my friends, after 2 hours is how you make that many bees and some hearts. So cool. Here's a glass bee. So that's the bee. And the killing goes. So we made 6 bees and we made 6 eyeballs. That's 2 hours. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you all. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you can. I'll be posting a lot more. I just started doing YouTube as my primary communications posting whatever thing. Thank you, Worm. Thank you. Check out my website at j9glass.art. That's where all my work is. And I will be checking in with y'all again. I'm so sorry to cancel it right now, but I can only handle 2 hours. So we are now at about 2 hours. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, I usually do them 2 hours from now until 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time in Colorado. As many days as I can do them. So hopefully I'll see you all again. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.